All right, man, peace. So, brothers, the talk of the sports world over the last 3 or 4 days has been the mega bout between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Of course, it's been rife with controversy due to notions of a long count, bad scorecards, etc. Well, Deontay Wilder has decided that he's going to sit down with Mr. Colin Cowherd and tell all on not just the fight, but his perspectives on boxing in general, Tyson Fury, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, and other boxing notables. So, of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
He has been the heavyweight champ for 3 years. He is 40-0-1 with 39 knockouts and a crazy fight this weekend to retain a split decision. Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, is now joining us here in the herd, 6 feet 7, the pride of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And
let me say this. This fight this past weekend may have been the best thing to ever happen for Deontay Wilder in regards to his notoriety and amplifying his brand as a household name, because I guarantee you that he is far more well known across the world now than he would have been had he knocked Tyson Fury out in 3 or 4 rounds.
And what is amazing, Alabama, Evander Holyfield's from Alabama, the great Ernie Shavers is from Alabama, the amazing Joe Louis is from Alabama, and you, and my takeaway is none of you guys played for the Crimson Tide. Now,
I believe that Willie Mays is also from Alabama as well.
You had to play football at some point.
Most definitely. Most definitely. I played football when I was younger and when I was in high school. I definitely had the desire to play for the Alabama Crimson Tide. I mean, when you were a child raised up right there in the city, that's almost like our professional sport. So you see all the school spirit, especially when they're playing Auburn. It's a big rival.
It's like a Super Bowl.
Yes. Oh my God. Everybody gets so emotional when they're playing Auburn. You know, and so as a child, you definitely had the desires and the motivation to play for them.
But you had a young daughter, and that she had spina bifida, and you needed to go make some money.
Oh, most definitely. I needed it fast. You know, although I had plans, but my plan consists of me still staying in school. You know,
and let me say this: that's a great job by the brother. He didn't make a bunch of excuses and say, you know what, I need money fast. Let me run out here and see how many crimes I can commit and make the excuse that I'm being held back or held down or oppressed. He took the gift, or one of the gifts that the Most High gave him, and he did his best to turn it into something that he could monetize. So great job by him. God bless him.
And I needed money now. I didn't know nothing about spina bifida or what it would take to take care of a child with spina bifida. Being 19 years old, that was very scary. That was one of the most scariest part of my life. Well, my life, bringing a life.
So you made a decision, Deontay, to go box. And at your size, you weren't.
That's right. He made a decision to go box. He did not make a decision to say, I'm going to sell drugs to my own people and destroy my own community.
Weren't going to be a lightweight. You became a sparring partner of Vladimir Klitschko.
Well, before then,
yeah.
I made the Olympics team and medal in the Olympics. No one has made the Olympics team and medal like I did it. I did it in a year and a half. No one has done it.
So you started boxing?
When I started boxing, you know, I wasn't even on the list when it came to USA Boxing, who would make the team and stuff. My name wasn't there. They always said I came out of nowhere, and I really did. And then later on in my career,
yeah, because he was a preternaturally, freakishly gifted natural athlete, and that probably has held the brother back because he has not spent enough time on his craft. But there's no doubt that Deontay Wilder is one of the most elite athletes on the planet Earth. There's no doubt about that.
Career. I went to Vladimir Klitschko's camp, and
who was a champ for a decade.
Most definitely, it was an amazing experience. You know, just getting invited there, I would have done it for free. You know, just to get the experience, just to be amongst the champ. I always said when I was going there, I said, this guy has been the champion for so long. Now I get an inside view of why has he been the champ for so long. So you know, I took a lot of notes in that camp.
Okay, Tyson Fury, you knock him down. We have video in the 12th round, and it was a tight fight. You know, a lot of people said you had lost the fight. You knock him down, he gets back up, and they raise your arm. Now, a lot of people felt he had outboxed you, in a majority of the rounds. Did you feel that?
I don't feel that.
Brother, stop lying. You know damn well that he outboxed you for the vast majority of the rounds. That's why you were so relieved, borderline elated, when you got the draw. Because the fact of the matter is that if you truly thought that you won, even with the 2 knockdowns, you would have been incensed, you would have been indignant at the notion of a draw.
I feel like I was the more aggressor. I feel like I threw the more effective punch. I landed the more effective punches. You know, being that I was...
Let me say this very quickly, because I have brothers who come on my channel talking about Deontay Wilder was the aggressor in the fight. Well, when you understand how a fight is scored according to the Marcus of Queensberry rules, it's not about who's the aggressor. It's about effective aggression. And you can be aggressive going forward or going backward. And as I told one of these brothers in the comments, if it was all about being the quote-unquote aggressor, and we know what basic common fans of boxing mean when they say aggressor, they mean whoever's coming forward. If that was the case, Muhammad Ali would have lost half his fights. Willie Pep would never have even won 1 round, much less any of his fights, as well as Pernell Whitaker. So there are many different ways to skin a cat, but you have to understand and know the rules according to Marcus of Queensberry, which are the boxing rules. So what Deontay Wilder is trying to do is he's trying to assist his fans in boosting up his notion that he actually won the fight when he knows that he did not win that fight.
Such a small heavyweight and applying so much force and power. You know, my power lasted over in the 12th round.
Absolutely. You're a freakishly gifted natural power puncher. Along the lines of Tommy Hearns, Ray Robinson, slim dudes who just have preternatural punching power. There's no doubt about that. And I'll be addressing this in another video, but this notion that Deontay deserves credit for walking down Tyson Fury despite giving up 40 pounds, that's just nonsense. All we have to do is look at Tyson Fury's body and we know that the 40-pound disparity is not muscle, it's just fat. So yes, Deontay's a phenomenal puncher, great heart, great overall drive. His boxing skill leaves some things to be desired. But to be quite frank with you, there's probably only one fighter who would be able to expose Deontay Wilder's deficiencies as a boxer, that being Tyson Fury.
You know, I definitely was very anxious to get him out of there. You know, I didn't feel the pressure until I really just got in the arena, just to see how many people just turned up for it. You know, because it's been, you know, heavyweight division in America has been down. You know,
it has.
I remember a time when no one knew who was the heavyweight champion of the world.
Absolutely, and you deserve a whole bunch of credit, brother, for bringing back the American Heavyweight Championship.
Here in America, and boxing is not like our top sport here, so it was a lot of pressure to be put on me to just try to bring this back. And I always try to be a man of my word. You know, whatever I do, I'm known for being a man of my word. And I told people I was gonna come and give a knockout, and I tried to do it. I think my emotions got the best of me in the ring.
No, brother, what got the best of you in the ring was Tyson Fury's boxing ability and his skill. That's what got the best of you, because you pretty much fought the same way in that fight that you fought in every other fight. You were headhunting, you were looking for the big right hand, and he suckered you in. He had great foot movement, great head movement. To be quite honest with you, you were very fortunate that he took the aggressive approach in the 12th round that he took, because that's the only reason why you won the fight. Had he fought going backwards and tied you up like he should have, he would have won the fight, despite the fact that it's very clear that Mr. Alejandro Roshin was trying to make sure that you got the victory.
Allowed me to overthrow my punches and different things like that.
Well, Tyson Fury's also a dude. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. It's not like you fought me. It's not like you fought an end table. You fought like a real guy. I got to ask this question, because this is one of the things. You're a big dude, right? When you walk into that ring, I think I've told you this, Joy. I've been to UFC fights. I used to live in Vegas, so I've been to big fights. I've been to Hagler Hearns, Leonard Duran. I was in the Fan Man fight. I've been to Tyson fights. I'm never more nervous at a sporting event. I've been to Super Bowls, everything, Deontay. When I go to a heavyweight fight and the guys walk in, I feel sick to my stomach. Now, I mean, seriously, I don't get nervous for Final Fours. I don't get nervous for World Series. I want to throw up.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. How are you? Aren't you a little nervous going into a fight? A little?
Why would he be nervous? He's been training for most of his life. He was born to be a great fighter. You wouldn't understand that because you were not born to be a great fighter. You were born to be a great broadcaster. So in that same vein, Deontay Wilder cannot relate to you. He'd probably be nervous as hell if they put a microphone in front of him and they asked him to break down all these different sports in front of millions of people. So, I mean, it's just about what you've been born to do.
To be honest, not I. I've been fighting for... I mean, I love this. I love to do it. I could just only speak for myself. I've been doing this for a very long time, over 10 years. I've never, even as a child, I never shied away from fights.
In other words, you were born to do what you're doing.
So although this is boxing, street fighting is totally different from boxing.
Did you street fight?
All the time. It seemed like every time I walked out of the house, I always were in a great fight. I never liked fighting though. I never looked for trouble, but trouble always found me.
Who the hell was picking on you?
I wasn't always tall though.
Okay, I was gonna say, you walk out of the house, I don't think I'd pick on you.
And I never liked fighting. I remember one time I was just at the park, just swinging all by myself, and I had this elder guy come and just pick with me out of nowhere, and I ended up hurting him real bad, and I remember going home crying, talking to God like, Lord, I don't want to fight. I know what I want to do in life, and this is not going to get me there, because I know when you get in trouble and when you on a path, the devil comes in and try to tempt you and try to knock you off game, and then now you do.
Absolutely, sir.
You do something stupid because you're reacting off of
emotion.
Exactly.
Absolutely. AKA Kareem Hunt.
And then things happen, and then that's it.
That's it.
And I always, I come from a praying family because my father, he's a pastor. My grandma was a pastor as well, too.
So you had a lot of religion, a lot of conviction in your family, a lot of church in your family. Mm-hmm. When you decided to be a boxer.
Let's be for real, though, now, Deontay. You may have been raised up in the quote-unquote black church, which is just low-level Luciferianism as it is. But right now, you're dealing with a lot of that comedic, pro-blackity-black shit. Let's be for real, brother. You're also dealing with a lot of woman worship, which I'll be covering in another video.
Boxer, dad okay? Mom okay? Everybody okay?
Oh, let me specify, mother goddess worship. Let me rewind this video back a little bit.
He never have. The devil comes in and try to tempt you and try to knock you off game, and then now you do something stupid because you're reacting off of
emotion.
Exactly. And then things happen, and then that's it.
So, brother, did you hear what Deontay Wilder just stated to Colin Cowherd and how Colin Cowherd responded? Deontay Wilder has the scope of thought to understand that when you're gifted, certain energies, certain forces, certain people will try to enter your life to distract you or throw you off your game. And what was the first thing that Colin Cowherd responded to him with? You tried to get emotional, or people will get emotional when they're confronted by those type of demons. Oftentimes when I bring that up, certain cats in the comments, they get upset because they've never been confronted with the notion that not being in control of your emotions is not a good thing. They've never been taught to understand that.
And I always, I come from a praying family because my father, he's a pastor. My grandma was a pastor as well, too.
So you had a lot of religion, a lot of conviction in your family, a lot of church in your family. Mm-hmm. When you decided to be a boxer.
And of course, I mean, no disrespect to the brother, but his grandmother was a pastor. That probably explains why he's so into the pro-blackity-black shit now. See, a lot of these brothers that get caught up into the comedic pro-blackity-black stuff, they do so because they were taught the Bible by their mother or their grandmother. And it just never stuck with them properly in their spirit, in their soul, and they're looking for something of more substance. So they go from one form of low-level Luciferianism to another.
Boxer, dad okay? Mom okay? Everybody okay?
He never told me, but he used to tell my mom that I don't need to be doing it. But he always said what I don't need to be doing. If I listen to him...
Oh, Lord, look at these. Oh, Lord. Do you have a favorite boxer when you were a kid?
Muhammad Ali is my idol.
Oh, I loved Ali. My dad liked Frazier. I liked Ali.
Yeah, I got a lot of favorite ones I like, but Muhammad Ali is definitely my idol.
Because to me, Ali was an athlete who fought.
Yes.
He wasn't a fighter. He was an athlete. You know who a guy's...
Absolutely. If Muhammad Ali was growing up today, he'd be a point guard in the NBA. He would not be a professional prize fighter.
Guy's underrated to me. Lennox Lewis.
Lennox? Yeah,
smart.
Yes, Lennox Lewis also came out and stated that Tyson Fury gave Deontay Wilder a boxing lesson. That's what he stated. As a matter of fact, every impartial great boxer, no matter what their race was, but particularly the so-called black ones, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford, Lennox Lewis, they all stated that Tyson Fury gave Deontay a boxing lesson. Why am I harping on this? Because if this brother does not get it through his mind to understand that he was outboxed, he's not going to do what he needs to do to become a better fighter for the rematch. All these wokey-woke, low-level dudes out here trying to pump his head up to think that he got robbed, they're going to set him up to lose later on.
Most definitely.
Good. By the way, I covered Tyson, and I would never say this to Mike's face. I thought he was a little overrated. He didn't jab last 6 years. He didn't.
Well, Mike Tyson is probably the most overrated heavyweight of the last 30 years. He was unbelievably talented for his size. But every time he stepped up in class, he lost. That's just the bottom line to that.
He didn't jab anymore.
And every time he fought the bigger competition, he lost now.
By the way,
Absolutely. Deontay Wilder just said it.
by the way, every time he fought a tall, long guy, Mitch Blood Green gave him trouble. Trevor Berbick, Lennox. Anytime he fought a tall guy that could keep Mike at bay. I also think Mike got so big and so rich, he just didn't work. Buster Douglas gave him trouble.
Buster.
Let me say this. It's very obvious that the reason why Deontay is saying this about Mike Tyson is because he's trying to set the stage to state that he believes that he could have beat Mike Tyson. But he does not have the style to beat Mike Tyson. That fight would have been very brief. It would have been a great firefight. Either Deontay would have gotten Mike or Mike would have gotten Deontay. But Deontay does not have the footwork or the jab to outpoint Mike Tyson over a 12-round fight. Mike Tyson would most likely, in my view, if he was able to avoid Deontay's big right hand, he would probably have stopped him, by around 3 or 4 rounds. Because Deontay is just far too base in regards to his style, in regards to his boxing craft. He would not have been able to avoid Mike Tyson's offense. Buster Douglas was able to utilize a certain style, a certain version of the Muhammad Ali, Larry Holmes style of boxing, which allowed him to keep Mike Tyson at bay. And on top of that, he was in the best shape of his life.
Buster.
I think Mike was custom auto.
Let me rewind this back a little bit.
I covered Tyson, and I would never say this to Mike's face. I thought he was a little overrated. He didn't jab last 6 years. He didn't jab anymore.
And every time he fought the bigger competition, he lost now.
By the way, every time he fought a tall, long guy, Mitch Blood Green gave him trouble. Trevor Berbick, Lennox. Anytime he fought a tall guy that could keep Mike at bay. I also think Mike got so big and so rich, he just didn't work. Buster Douglas gave him trouble.
Mike Tyson was also suffering from psychological issues from his childhood. He could not trust anybody. The only person that he ever trusted was Customato, and then Customato died. He ended up casting his lot in with a lot of the street dudes that he grew up with, and that's why his life started to take such a downturn. And then, of course, drugs and alcohol took over his life. But that's one of the main reasons why Mike Tyson struggles so much.
Trouble.
Buster.
I think Mike was Customato early in his career was a passionate, driven fighter. Then he got rich, and like all of us, you give us a little money, we get a little cray, and we go a little sideways.
Yeah, and he had nobody to trust.
Yeah, you get a little,
including himself.
Get a little lazy as well too.
When's the last time somebody really popped you? Fury to Tyson?
Saturday, So.
Oh, but Deontay, I thought that you said that Fury never hurt you. Now you saying that the last guy who really popped you was Fury? Okay, well that's good, brother. I'm glad that you're speaking the truth.
So yeah.
You should tell that to your wokey-woke fans all over the internet.
Yeah,
because according to them, all he did was run backward for the whole fight. Let me rewind this back.
But.
And we go a little sideways.
Yeah, you get a little lazy as well too.
When's the last time somebody really popped you? Fury to Tyson?
Saturday, So yeah, but it wasn't effective. He only. I was asked, does he have power? He doesn't have power, but he has big man power for his weight.
That's my point. There's no way in the world that you're gonna be in the ring with a guy 6'9", 260, and he hits you and it's not hurting you. Now Deontay Wilder has great conditioning, great heart, and a good chin, so he was able to weather it. But he was hurt in that fight, and people could act like he wasn't. There were multiple rounds where he was hurt. He was hurt in the 12th round.
I came in at 209 officially at the fight. I was so surprised that my weight even dropped more after the weigh-ins.
I wasn't surprised because you're actually in great condition. You're a lot like Floyd Mayweather. what a fighter who's in elite condition will do, they're not going to put on too much weight after the weigh-in. Sometimes they might even stay the same weight that they were at the weigh-in, or maybe even lose a couple of pounds. That has happened to Mayweather in some of his big fights. Deontay Wilder, at the end of the day, a lot of his fans may get upset with me because of many of the statements that I'm making about the fight, but at the end of the day, the brother is dedicated to his conditioning. He's dedicated to his craft. He just has not taken the time out to learn as much as he needs to learn about his craft. He's dedicated to what he knows thus far, because what he knows thus far has been able to carry him through. But he's always in great condition, and it's very obvious when you look at him that he's all natural.
So you were fighting at 206?
Basically.
And he was at 255, 270?
He was at 260.
Wow.
That's amazing. I was like,
Yeah, but brother, come on. Like, don't run around to the media and try to trick them into thinking that that's some great achievement. We know for a fact that Tyson Fury is about 50 pounds overweight. So, I mean, really, you guys are about the same size. He's just carrying around a bunch of fat.
So I'm putting on my clothes. The commissioner's coming in and like, yo, we need to do a official weigh-in on you. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm thinking I'm more weight than I were when I weighed in. So I get on the scale, 209. What? You know what I'm saying? So now I'm thinking 209 in my head, which I don't really dwell on weight, because like I said, I'd rather be the part than look the part.
Right.
Absolutely. Great statement. He said, I'd rather be the part than look the part. In other words, there are guys out there who look like He-Man and have a bunch of so-called muscles filled with water.
Right. I know what I'm capable of doing. I know I have the power to survive in this division.
Was he the biggest guy you ever fought, though?
6'9". It's either between
Look
him
how
and
big he is.
Yeah.
Lord. What's it look like to watch? Hold on. Is this the big one coming up here?
Even just seeing the fight, it was a great fight overall. We both put our hearts on the line. We sacrificed our life in there, and that's what we do. And shout out to Adonis Stevenson. He's still in critical condition right now.
Yes, from what I understand, Adonis Stevenson was in critical condition, but allegedly he's been upgraded to stable condition
right now, and our prayers is definitely with him. And people don't understand the effect that it takes upon our body, our families. We risk our lives in that ring, and there's nothing to play with. Any shot, any given time, something can happen. Yep. Where it can be the last time we step in that ring.
Congratulations, we gotta go, Deontay Wilder.
Absolutely, congratulations to the brother. He certainly gives his all. Do I believe that he deserved the draw? No, I do not. But hopefully he takes it as a cautionary storyline that he can utilize for himself to become a better person. Not listen to the fanboys, the pro-blackity-black, wokety-woke dudes who really just want to kiss his ass and pump his head up with nonsense. Very similar to Rocky and Rocky 3. A bunch of people in his entourage telling him lies. Just watch the film and try to become a better fighter. And hopefully for his sake, he can perform better in the rematch against Tyson Fury, should he decide to take that rematch. Because I think that he's going to have to. I don't think that Joshua's going to give him the fight now coming off of that performance. But anyway, peace.